Ramakatha Rasavahini, Prema Sudhamritavahini, Sathya Sanatani Dharma Swarupini, Shanti Pradayini Mokshakarini, Ramakatha Rasavahini, Ramakatha Rasavahini.
Sai Ram, everyone. We'll start with prayers. Omkara. Om. Sai Ram. Let's just to recollect where we were last week. We are reading the third chapter in the Ramakatha Rasavahini. Swami is speaking about King Dasharatha and his prowess, and Ravana, who came to know of it, who was humiliated by Dasharatha when Ravana tried to demand tariff from him, did penance, seeking boon from God, and he asked for a boon and he got it, which is that Dasharatha should not have any children. That's where we were. So we can just read the slide which is here, which actually we read and discussed, but just so that we can continue from where we left off, we will read it just once. I will ask Uncle Gopalan.
Sai Ram. Ravana, however, decided he must overpower all the rulers of the world, and realizing that he could do so only by winning divine grace, he went over to the depths of the forest and selected a favorable, auspicious spot for his ascetic practices. The asceticism of Ravana was so intense and satisfying that God Brahma was compelled to appear before him and offer to grant him whatever boon he desired. Ravana, ask for anything you want. I shall give you your heart's desire, said Brahma. Ravana was revolving in his mind the insult he had suffered at the hands of Dasharatha. He argued that Dasharatha might get even mightier sons from whom he might suffer more. So he asked the boon he wanted. Lord, bless me with this gift of grace. Let no child be born from the loins of Dasharatha. At this, Brahma said, so be it, and immediately vanished from the scene, lest Ravana might frame another foul request if he were present before him. Ravana strutted about, proud and devoid of fear, exulting over his prowess and success. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Uncle. Sai Ram, everyone. If anyone is interested in discussing any of the points which Swami has outlined here, which we did not discuss last week, we can.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Auntie.
Last time, Brother Sanjay was expressing about Nirbhaya.
Yes.
I discussed that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Please, Auntie, you can go ahead.
Yeah. Here, Bhaya means fear. Fear comes when the other person is present. The opposite person is present, second person, then fear comes. And Ravana, as far as Ravana is concerned, because he had got all the boons from Brahma, so there was no fear of death at all for him or no defeat. So he decided that he became Nirbhaya. But at the same time, one can be fearless, as Swami says in the Sunday discourse, for asceticism, no, asceticism, he exactly used the word, tyaga, that is to renounce. Renunciation is fearlessness. That's what Swami has last discourse he said. So that renunciate, one who has renounced everything, he has no fear for anything. And one more thing, what happens is when we are alone also we get afraid. In many cases we have seen that. We don't want to be alone because loneliness brings something kind of fear. But the fearlessness can come only to a person who has strong faith, who is convinced about this Atma. And when he is convinced that God is with him, then he can become fearless. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Auntie. Sanjay, I don't know whether you would like to comment on anything or ask.
No, thank you. Thanks, Auntie. No, I just, because that question, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. No, because I think that there was a comment that was made after all these pious actions, why did he ask for something so seemingly trivial, right? And I was just trying to think of it in terms of all our prayers. Most of the time, our prayers are come out of somewhere or the other is rooted out of fear. We have something. I'm not saying that's how it should be, but usually we see there's something we want or something we're lacking, and even simple things like passing an exam or getting a promotion or getting a raise in salary or a better living conditions and so on. It is always a fear of not having that leads us to pray. And when that prayer is fulfilled, we seemingly have a small gap of nirbhaya until the next bhaya comes around, and then we pray again for that bhaya's solution. So in that sense, when we look at it, as long as that fear is there, like Auntie said, as long as that fear is there, as long as the separation is there, there is fear. As long as that fear is there, what we pray for will always not necessarily be for the right thing. It will always be for the redemption of the fear. There was a beautiful story that I read, in devotees that had been coming in the 50s to Prasanthi Nilayam, and one time Swami asked them, you're always asking, anytime I speak to you, you're either asking for this, that, or something else. The wants or the asks never ends. And Swami implied saying, why don't you ask for Parama Shanti? Which is, even if it's not what you want, if you can still have Shanti, even if you don't get what you want, if you can still have Shanti as a blessing from me, then even if you don't get what you want, you'll still be okay. So yeah, I think that question just triggered that thought in my mind as to how can we go away from prayer that is somehow rooted in fear to praying that is not rooted in fear?
Brother Sanjay, your voice is very feeble. I can very feeble. We are not. It's not loud enough.
Oh,
I,
so sorry, Auntie.
so
I
please.
don't want to repeat myself again. I think maybe
No,
it was
no,
not
no,
it was not
no,
meant
no.
to be shared.
No. I just listened to you, but very feeble voice was coming. Just
Okay,
you can
I'll,
adjust your computer.
I will do that, Auntie. Sorry. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay. Sai Ram, Sister Geeta, you have your hand up.
Yes, Sai Ram. Sai Ram, everyone. I am just having one question here. Uh, First thing is, it reminds me today, Ramakatha Rasavahini. I have the book here because I got it from Puttaparthi when I was attending early morning darshan of Ganesha, and I was listening to Ramakatha Rasavahini, this study circle, and then I said, okay, I'm in Puttaparthi, so I should get the book because I don't like digital version, so I like to read books. So this is great. I could get the book. It was right timing there. But my question is, one thing is coming to my mind after reading this paragraph, that why did God Brahma appear in front of Ravana? Is it because always Ravana is an ardent devotee of Lord Shiva, right? Always Shiva will appear before Ravana, and Shiva will bless, give boons, everything. That's why we say Bhola Shankar, right? And then Vishnu has to intervene and do all this. I'm here surprised to see God Brahma appearing as and giving the boon and then disappearing. What is this Leela? Like, I am just. This is a question I am having.
Okay, thank you very much, sisters, for the question. But we had discussed this question, I think last time also. But anyway, I will just repeat, and others can chime in. See, when Ravana performed tapas, he just did tapas to God. Okay, Brahman. So Swami in the Telugu version, Swami is saying Brahma appeared. He did not say Brahma Devudu or something like that. Brahma is also in Sanskrit. Brahma also means God. God appeared. It is just that today we have given different forms and say God, and we think those forms are different gods. But during Ravana's time, we should understand Ravana is someone who was erudite in Vedas. He knew that there's only one God. He may have different forms. So I think just to say, or Rama appeared, Shiva did not appear, is the way we look at God, forms of God today. I think at that time, God appeared. Different form maybe, but Swami is not specifying whether it's the creator Brahma appeared or the Brahman, the Parabrahman appeared. See, the Supreme Lord is also called Parabrahman, just for the sake of distinguish. So I think we will leave it at that. I think this was a question which was asked, and this was a summary of the discussion.
So sorry, actually, last time I joined, I think in the last 10 or 15 minutes. But again, I have one question. As we say, God is one, right? You're saying Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, all God is one. And I had this discussion with one of the Telugu priests here. And I told him, like, you're saying, so brother, Telugu, right? So I said, Shravan Masamlo, the Gurugaru, మీరు శ్రావణ మాసంలో వెంకటేశ్వర స్వామి విష్ణుమూర్తికి పూజ చేయమంటున్నారు. ఇక్కడ నార్త్ ఇండియన్స్ ఏమో శ్రావణ సోమవారం చేస్తారు, శ్రావణ నెల అంతా శివుడు పూజ చేస్తారు. ఇది కాన్ఫ్లిక్ట్ అయిపోతున్నది కదా, మరి ఇండియన్ కల్చర్ ఇంత కాన్ఫ్లిక్టింగ్ ఎందుకు? నార్త్ ఏమో శివుడికి పూజ చేస్తున్నారు, మీరేమో విష్ణు. అప్పుడు అతను నాకు ఫోన్ చేసి ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేశారు, చూడమ్మా విష్ణు ఇంకా శివ ఒకటే. మార్నింగ్ టైం విష్ణు అండ్ ఈవినింగ్ టైం శివ, ఆ రెండు ఒకటే. మార్నింగ్ టైంలో విష్ణు పూజ చేయాలి, సాయంకాలం అది శివుడు, రెండు వేరే కాదు, ఒకటే. శ్రావణ మాసంలో విష్ణుమూర్తి ఎందుకు అంటున్నాం అంటే, శ్రావణ నక్షత్రం వెంకటేశ్వర స్వామిది, సో అందుకే వెంకటేశ్వర స్వామి నక్షత్రం శ్రావణ నక్షత్రం అని మేము మనం చెప్తున్నాం. Then I said, okay, I am convinced. That is so. Okay, so you're saying Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, and there is one God, right? So God appeared, we can say, that's all.
And that's all. Swami also says God appears in the form in which you pray, in which you conceive. So I think we think Shiva looks different from Brahma, Brahma looks different from Shiva. But why don't we say God appears in some form?
Yes.
Why
Okay,
can't we-
that is convincing for me. God appears in the form in which we pray.
That's it.
Yes. Okay.
Sai Ram, sister.
Sir.
Brother Rohit.
Sai Ram, uncle, how are you?
Fine.
Mani aunty, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Last time I also had some problems. So,
Yeah,
no, I just want, yeah, thank you, auntie. So I just wanted to share my thoughts on what Mani aunty and brother Sanjay had said. Just to add to that, actually, it's amazing the power of Maya, that when it engulfs us, we don't even ask God for the right thing. Like Ravana here, he's making it so complicated that let no child be born from the loins of Dasharatha. He's not asking for what he really wants here. And even if we go back to Sathya Yuga, when Hiranyakashipu wanted to avoid death, he could have simply asked for no death, but he went for something complicated like, oh, neither a man, neither this, neither something else. So it when Brother Sanjay was explaining about how we keep asking for these different desires, it's so very obvious that we don't ask, like we never ask Swami like, Swami, I want to be happy. Swami, I want to be peaceful. Swami, I just want to feel free. We always ask for something limited, like Swami, can I have can my this family relatives problem be solved? Oh, Swami, can I get a new job? Can I get a salary raise? Oh, can I get this new house? Can I get that new car? All specific things which we hope will lead to that ultimate feeling that we are actually looking for. But in that moment when we are praying, Maya makes sure that we are asking something very limited, like how here Ravana is asking something very complicated, or Hiranyakashipu is asking something very complicated, which at the end of the day, God always finds a way, or Maya always finds a way to, catch you in a bind. So I guess my question is, how do we maintain that awareness that when we actually, God does appear in front of us, or when we are actually in a prayer room, as Swami says, we must do always prayers. How do we maintain that awareness that we must not ask for something limited at that moment when we are truly in a very painful state that, oh, I really want something? So what is the best way to remind ourselves that we must ask for something? So I guess that, what can we ask for in a prayer then? So if Swami appeared in front of us, what can we ask for in a prayer? Thank you, Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Rohit. A very nice question. So Rohit is asking so that we don't fall into the same trap which Ravana fell into. So I will open it up for anyone who would like to share. How can we maintain this awareness so that we ask for the best thing and not ask for some coffee powder, as Swami says?
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Swami says, you ask for me, only me. I mean, ask for only God, nothing else. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Uncle. Yes, Sister Aruna.
Yes, I go with uncle, what Uncle has mentioned. You don't ask for anything, but the asking itself, I always believe you don't have a faith. That's how I will look at it on the point of view. Asking is less faith. And the other thing is, the fear comes always when there's a lack of faith. So you shouldn't be asking, and always Lord know what you supposed to get. So that kind of that kind of faith you should have in it. This is the way I will look at it. Then the other thing is, Brahma appeared, brother, in a different way. I was thinking about that too. I don't know whether that's right or not. I think we have discussed enough on that Brahma appearing. it says the same God based on the person is asking, that kind of I don't know, in that form or that it's not a thing that he's asking for the Lord, right? So to satisfy the worldly things is a different way of the Lord manifest to give them. I'm just thinking about that too today. Thank you.
Thank
Just
you very much.
wanted to see everyone's opinion. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Sutta, thank you. Yes, Sister Geeta.
Yeah, 1 second, brother.
Sarmako, just quickly to just follow up to Brother Rohit's question. I know he asked how do we maintain the awareness, but can we also talk about what true prayer actually means? Because I guess we, Brother Sanjay was saying, we denote prayer to materialistic things.
Sorry, brother, I interrupted, I think. Actually, somebody knocked the door. What my answer to the brother, whoever asked, was that if you have that total surrender aspect, then we shouldn't worry about asking, because then he will take care of everything. He knows what we need at what time. So that's all I want to say. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, sister. Yes, Aishan, go ahead.
I think we denote prayer to just materialistic things, or things that we go through, we pray for this person, or we pray for our education, like Brother Sanjay was sharing earlier. What does true prayer look like? And I guess how can we cultivate that?
Thank you very much, Aishan. I will again open it up. Sister Aruna, you have your hand up. I don't know, now or again? Maybe that's okay. We can take her hand out.
Sorry, before me, there was somebody else raised the hand. I was just answering what kind of prayer we had to make it. After there's, I think Sai Sati, somebody else was there. I'll go after that. Thank you, Sarah.
Sai Ram, sister. Just Sai Satish, I think it's your turn.
Sai Ram. So, couple of points. So one is based on what Brother Rohit was saying with regard to how do we remember, if Swami were to come right now in front of us, how do we remember to stay in that place of awareness and make that ask? And secondly, what is the ask? So, in terms of the first one, I think it comes back to Abhyasa Yogena. So Swami has always said this, that eating practice, walking practice, reading practice, writing practice, everything in our life, what we have, what we think of so easily today is born out of that practice. It took us a year to two to start walking, which we take it as very which we can do very easily today, but it took us a while to get there. So essentially, if for small physical activities and so on needs that kind of an effort, then how is that when it's a mental activity or something beyond the mind? Because when in presence of the Lord, what first happens is, in a true sense, the mind should get subdued. So only the heart should speak. And when will the heart speak is when it is in that true state of communion. And that is what also transitions to the second point of how we should pray. So the first one is we keep doing this again and again. So we know so much so that it becomes involuntary. And when Swami comes, we don't even have to think. It just comes so superfluously, because we know that this is what we will be asking when that omnipresence becomes the physical presence, because anyway, Swami is hearing all the time. And secondly, the part of what we should pray, Swami has also said in an example. There is one farmer who is praying that his crops are to be having a harvest soon, and he is praying for rain, and another person is there is a function happening, so he is praying that there should be no rain. So which prayer God will answer? And then Swami says whichever prayer stems from a complete selflessness, that prayer will be answered. So it should have no trace of any selfishness or any trace of the small I. It should be for a larger good. And when that kind of a prayer comes, then automatically, because there is no longer the Vyashti or the individual, it is always the Samashti or the Parameshti, that is the societal or for God. When the prayer stems at that level, then it attains fruition. But I'll pause here. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish. Yes, Sister Aruna.
Sai Ram, brother. See, in addition to what the Sai Satish mentioned, we have learned all this time is a prayer is every act is a service, and every act has to be considered as a prayer. That's only will allow you to keep the Lord in your mind all the time. So I just wanted to mention that. Thank you, Sarah.
Sister, can you elaborate a bit?
Yes, it's a constant awareness, right? Constantly you have to. So 24/7 mean what? Then the prayer or remembering God. So any act that you are doing, it's a prayer only. It's not like a sake of doing for yourself. Then only the mind and I will come. If you wanted to have it that as every act is a prayer, then you will remember the Lord throughout. That's how I will think. Thank you, Sarah. No more explanation.
Sai Ram.
Sorry. Sai Ram.
That's so, sister. You should treat the explanation as prayer also. But I don't know. Everyone engages in activities, and how does that activity become prayer? That's my question. See, one thing is 24/7 we are doing everything, and everything is a prayer. But everyone in this world is also doing things.
Yes.
So if I say, Swami, this is a prayer, will it become a prayer? Is another question we have to ask.
No, you don't have the selfishness within you, and you do it with the thinking, anything that you are doing, think of him and do. That's offered to him.
Okay.
So, thank you, Sai.
Yes, Sister. Yes, Uncle Gopala. Please go ahead.
We all of us have limited knowledge and limited experience. When actually, if Swami comes and asks you what do you want, and if you say, I want you, Swami will decide whether you have the worthiness of being granted whatever you ask for. Swami will test you. So I just want to make a point. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Thank you very much. Yes, Sister Vani.
Sai Ram. So Swami says that there are 4 types of devotees, and who are, Artha, who wants, Swami for when they're in struggle, Arthatri when they want some power or prosperity or something, Jignasu that they want, wisdom, and then Jnani who wants Swami, the Sannidhi, the presence of Lord. So there are not everybody is asking the same thing. Of course, Swami will give whatever that we ask for, and then Swami also said, ask the highest thing, which is to yearn for him. So I think, based on where we are in our journey to spirituality and our journey to Swami, I think we have, when Swami acknowledged there are 4 types, and, we will always aspire to improve and go to the highest stage. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you very much, sister. Thank you. Anyone else has something to add?
Saramonko, I think I recall in another study circle we talked about how the intention before going and sitting for prayers and practice you discussed. And I think in this case, like Ravana, he has this thought of overpowering like the world and and he sits down with this thought, and I think I recall you touching, I don't know the exact details, but I recall you touching on the importance of, like, I think we get caught up in our day-to-day activities, and we're thinking about, oh, what am I gonna eat for dinner before you sit for prayers, and that true prayers, there needs to be some focus, I guess. But if you can elaborate, probably make more sense.
Okay, Sai Ram. So I will start off with what the temporary fearlessness and temporary happiness. In this world, actually, we want fearlessness as well as happiness, permanent happiness. But unfortunately, we don't know how to get it. So we take, for example, we achieve something small in this world, we are happy. But the happiness doesn't last because it is dependent on something which is impermanent in this world. And then we are off to the next one. As Sanjay said, the bhaya also lasts, the self-confidence also lasts for a little time. Because as long as we have, we depend on something in this world, including our own achievements, our own success, our own money, our own power, or our own position, that doesn't last. So that's what happened. And Ravana, in this case, the temporary fearlessness he is suffering from. And then another problem strikes, and then he will have to find another solution. So which is the nature of all of us. So we don't know what is permanent fearlessness, and we don't know what is permanent happiness. And all this study is only for figuring out what to do. And then to address what others have also said, but I will say about Rohit saying what happens. See, the reality is in this world, see, Ravana started the purpose to win over the entire world, all powerful. Then when Brahma came, his mind suddenly went to Dasharatha. And then he remembered the humiliation at the hands of Dasharatha. Then he went into, he has children or not, was the next thought. Then he said, okay, when God appeared, even though he was doing tapas, when Brahma appeared, his mind was only dwelling on Dasharatha not having children. Because that means his mind is not steady. It started with some thought, but it is jumping from thing to thing. And then he asked, at that time when God appears, what is our thought? We ask. So this is the same thing with all of us also. For example, we will say we will go to Prashanthi Nilayam for, when we go and we wait, we may look at somebody else is not giving me seat, somebody is pushing. Then we will forget all about Swami and think only about that. Or we may say, I'm hungry now. We will think, God, Swami, come and go fast so I can go. The idli may be over in the canteen. Suddenly somebody will say, oh, because idli, then only upma will be there. I have to eat that. Such thoughts also come. Then we may pray when Swami comes, Swami, let idli be there when I go for breakfast. So then there are people who come for bhajan, and then they say, they want to, instead of focusing on Swami, they will say, oh, that person is singing bhajan, why not? I am not getting a chance. Then whole bhajan, we will only think about the mic rather than Swami. Or, I want to play tabla, or I want to play harmonium, or some such thing, it takes over our thought. Our mind is never steady. So we forget, we even lose the opportunity of going for a bhajan. We have to ask ourselves during the bhajan, are we thinking of Swami alone, nothing else throughout the. But we'll say, oh, that person sang well, this person didn't sing well. Our mind is always jumping from object to object. If that is so, when the camera clicks, whatever the thought is, that's what it will be. So I think it's not only at the bhajan or at the prayer session, throughout our day, throughout our life, if only we can again pull back our mind to God. Only then we will ask for God. As Uncle Gopalan said, we should ask for God. But the problem is throughout the day we are asking for so many things in the world, and when we sit down, our own mind, it's not even God's Maya, we create the Maya ourselves. It's like the person who kept different names of gods for his son, thinking that, when it's a businessman, he thought when he's going to die, he will call the names of the children. And that will be the name of God. But when he was about to die, he called all the children came, and then he said, hey, who is in the store? So because he has been throughout the life, he has been only thinking of God. So I think we should, unless we practice thinking of God all the time, when God appears, we will not be able to ask the right question. So I think we can start with small practices. This I am telling myself, because when we go to the center for bhajan or any sadhana activity, are we completely immersed in the thought of God? And I think that's what it is. And then we don't need to ask anything, because God knows better than us how we should attain happiness, how we get in paramashanti, as Sai Satish said. Only He can give. When we think of God, actually, it's He Himself is paramashanti. He is very few. So that's my piece, 2 cents. I hope if everyone... Yes, Sai Ram, Rohit, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Uncle, for the explanation. Actually, just to add to your mind a point about how the mind behaves, one more thing that I'm not speaking about others, I'm speaking about myself personally, my own mind. The one more nature of the mind that I've observed is that it actually goes to God only when it wants something. Like on a day, if I'm facing some troubles or challenges, my mind, you know how we have to do, like, it's a you have to pray 3 times in a day, morning, noon, and then night time. So um, when I'm facing troubles, or when I'm like, not just troubles, but even a little bit of challenges during the day, my mind is very motivated. I want to pray, because why? While praying, there's a good chance that that problem will get solved somehow subconsciously. But when I'm having a very good day, suddenly I find like the mind is a bit lazy. It doesn't want to pray because it is sitting happy in the corner. It doesn't want to go to God anymore. So I think that is also one more. I think in Mahabharata, correct me if I'm wrong, but Kunti was asked. Kunti told Lord Krishna, right? Like, let me always face trouble, so that my mind is always on you. So that also one nature of the mind is that it only wants to go to God when there is trouble. Otherwise, it's very happy sitting in Maya, very blissful is not the right word, but very ignorantly sitting and happy until the next problem comes around. Then it wants to go to God again. Sai Ram, thank you.
Thank you very much, Rohit. Thanks. Anyone else has something to add? If not, we will move on. Okay, I think we'll move on, Saisha. Sai Ram, Uncle, go ahead.
Meanwhile, another project entered his head. Dasharatha is a youth of marital age now. If I so contrive that he does not marry at all, it will make my safety doubly sure. He thought within himself. Looking about with the aid of his Rakshasa skills, he discerned that there was a great likelihood that Dasharatha will wed the daughter of the king of Kosala. So he decided to put an end to that princess. When one's own destruction is imminent, reasons turn crooked, as the saying goes. He entered the Kosala kingdom stealthily in disguise and kidnapped the princess. Placing her in a wooden box, he cast it over the waves of the sea. Ravana could not see the truth that nothing can ever happen without the concurrence of the divine will. Brahma willed otherwise. The box was carried by the waves onto the shore. The place where it landed was a fine recreation area. The next day, Sumantra, the prime minister of Dasharatha, happened to visit the place on a quiet holiday to be spent in discussing within himself the problems of the state. His eyes fell on the box. He retrieved it and opened it. He was surprised to find in it a charming girl with attractive shining eyes and a halo of divine splendor. Sumantra was overcome with pity. He spoke softly and sweet to the girl. Little one, how did it happen that you were placed inside this box? Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Uncle. Auntie, shall we read?
యా రావణుడు నిర్భయుడై తన శక్తి సామర్థ్యములను స్మరించుచు గర్వించుచుండ మరొక తలపు వానిలో మెరసెను.
So while Ravana was exulting in a fearless state about his own intelligence and successes and his power, and he was feeling prideful, another thought arose in his head.
దశరథుడు ఇప్పుడు యుక్త వయస్కుడు.
Dasharatha is a young person.
అతనికి వివాహమే కాకుండానట్లు తగిన ప్రయత్నము జరిపిన
If he makes effort that he will not even get married.
మరింత మంచిది అనుకుని భావించి తన రాక్షస శక్తితో తేరి పారచూచి బహుశా కోసల దేశపు రాజు పుత్రికను ఇతనికి ఇచ్చి వివాహము జరుపవచ్చును.
So what he said, thinking so, it will be much better if he doesn't get married. Thinking so, he used his demonic powers, and he was able to see, have some foresight to see that the daughter of the king of the Koshala country there is possibility for him to get married.
కనుక ఆ పుత్రికనే లేకుండా చేయవలనని వినాశకాలే విపరీత బుద్ధి అన్నట్లు విపరీత బుద్ధి పుట్టి.
So he thought maybe if that girl herself disappears, so it dies, with that convoluted intelligence, that is one who at the time of calamity, one gets the very bad thoughts or bad buddhi.
విపరీత బుద్ధి పుట్టి కోసల దేశమునకు మారు వేషముతో వెళ్ళి ఆ రాజకుమార్తె కౌసల్యను దొంగలించి.
So he went in a different form to the kingdom of Kosala.
In disguise.
In disguise. He went to the kingdom of Kosala Desha and he stole the princess Kaushalya.
ఆ బాలికను ఒక పెట్టెలో పెట్టి సముద్రములో పారవేసెను.
He put her in a box and threw the box in the ocean.
దైవాజ్ఞ లేక ఏమీ జరగదు అను విషయము రావణుడు తెలుసుకొనలేకపోయెను.
Ravana did not understand, did not realize that without the will of God, nothing can take place.
ఆ వదలిన పెట్టెను బ్రహ్మ తన సంకల్పముచే ఒక గట్టునకు వచ్చి చేరునట్లు చేసెను.
So Brahma, through his will, made sure that the box which was left on the ocean by Ravana came to a particular location and reached the shores.
ఆ గట్టు మంచి విహార స్థానమైనది.
That was a place of fine entertainment.
రెండవ దినము దశరథునికి ప్రధానమంత్రి అయిన సుమంతుడు ఆ వనము గట్టునకు వచ్చి.
So the second day, the prime minister of Dasharatha by the name Sumantra came to that spot, to that shore.
రాజ్యతంత్రములను ఆలోచించుచుండ
When he was contemplating on various political matters,
అక్కడ ఒక అందమైన పెట్టె కంటికి కనిపించెను.
At that spot, a nice, beautiful box was seen by his eyes.
అంత చెంతకు వెళ్ళి తెరిచి చూడ
He went near that and opened it to check it.
అందులో ఒక ఆడబిడ్డ అందమైన కన్నులతో దైవీ తేజస్సుతో మెరయుచుండెను.
In that box, he found a girl with very beautiful eyes and with divine effulgence.
సుమంతుడు జాలి హృదయుడై తీయని మాటలతో, అమ్మా నీవెవరు, ఈ పెట్టెలో ఉండుటకు గల కారణమేమి అని ప్రశ్నించగా.
So Sumantra, his heart was filled with some happiness, and with sweet words, he asked her, "Oh little girl, oh Amma, who are you? What is the reason for you to be in this box?" Thus he asked her.
Jali Hridayam, that means compassion.
Compassion, oh Jali. Thank you very much, Auntie.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, thank you.
Sai Ram,
So-
sorry, one quick question. That sentence, that was a place of fine entertainment. What is
Yeah,
meant?
Vihara means it's entertainment, no, recreation, entertainment. So there were people, it's a tourist spot,
I see.
if you want to put it that way. Vihara means how you spend your time, how people move about,
I see.
things like that. Vihara means any form of recreation, entertainment, how you spend time. Okay. Which means moving about also, Vihara, people walk. So it's tourist frequenting place. Okay, if you want to put it that way. Any of the beaches which we go to. So I'll stop here. If anyone would like to discuss any points, please go ahead. So maybe no one is asked saying, see, he was Nirbhaya for some time. Then he wanted to be doubly sure. That means he had some doubts about the boon he asked. Okay, he thought he has to have some preemptive. He would have thought, I should have asked Brahma that he shouldn't get married. He only said no children. Then he would have thought it's better I ask that he should not be married. Okay, Sanjay, please go ahead.
Now, I also wanted to point out the flavor of his prayer changes from the first one to the second one. In the sense, in the first one, he is asking something for himself, and in the second one, he's asking for evil or bad for another person. In the sense, it's not enough that if I am safe, but at the same time, I want the other person to suffer also, or I just thought there was a slight variation in the quality of the prayer between the first and the second one.
Thank you, Sanjay. Yes, Sai Satish.
Paramanda. Just to add to Sanjay Anna's thing, it's like the person, I think he asks when God appears that whatever happens, double of what I get should happen to the other person. And then he says, make me blind in one eye. And then, so it's implying that the other person has to go blind in both the eyes, kind of a thing. So that's where Swami says, like, Chanchala hi mana Krishna pramadi balavadridam. So that mind, like what you're saying, is so fickle in its nature. And to which Swami again says, that's why you should do sarvada sarvakaleshu sarvatra harichintanam. The solution also to that is at all times, at all places, at all points in time, we should continue to remember Swami so that it becomes second nature. And the mind is not going from one thing to another. It is always resting on the Lord. So just wanted to add that, Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Satish.
Sai Ram.
Yes.
Ravana had mastered all the 64 types of knowledges, and with all that, his mind is crooked.
Okay, thank you, Uncle. Yes, Ron and Beena.
Sai Ram, just a short comment. I think this well demonstrates how fearful Ravana is. That's all. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. Anyone else would like to comment?
I think it also shows, Uncle, your point earlier about his kind of thoughts are just kind of bouncing. You're kind of just going from one thing to another. You're not really focusing on one thing. Like, even though he was in a fearless state and he was thinking about his intelligence and his power, he's still kind of, to a point, gets distracted back to that Dashratha's, that same thought process again.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, Auntie Mani, Auntie, please go ahead.
Aruna, I think Aruna was.
Okay, Sister Aruna, please.
Aruna first.
No, Sai Ram. Auntie, you go ahead, please. I'll ask my question later after you.
Here, what I feel is Ravana, his Rajasic and Tamasic nature is at the predominance. It is making him think in all crooked ways, and when a person is under the influence of Tamasa Guna and the Rajasic Guna, the mind does not differentiate between good action and bad action. He loses the discriminative power, and he asks things which are illogical, and it doesn't indolent and heedlessness. All these things come to a person when he is in the tamasic and rajasic mood. So Ravana is in that mood to ask such silly boons. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Auntie. Yes, Sister Aruna.
Sai Ram, it's nice where Ravana is asking this boon after mastering that 64 all the knowledges, even the Vedas and all. Where did he slip that you think that he didn't get it, all these qualities? Because Vedas and all, he would have supposed to earn those ones, right? Continuing all these knowledges. So because only with the gunas he lost it, I'm just thinking to myself, well, how he didn't gain that knowledge of not asking these kind of boons after learning so much. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Thank you very much. Yes, Ron Obina.
Sai Ram, here one point to be noted, that Sumantra's character, Swami has mentioned throughout Sumantra's character, how great and how polite, loyal, and so anyone wants to just a little bit more describe about his character, we can see here that how soft he speaks to. I heard that Mani Auntie said Amma, something like that in the Telugu. What it is not here in English, but it seems like the great character he has, that anyone he sees, even female character, he addresses him like a mother. Yeah. Is that true, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sai Ram. Yes, Bina. What I read was, Amma nivevaru. Who are you? Ee petalo undutuku gala karaname. What is the reason for you being in this box? So that's, it shows his sattvic nature. I was talking about Rajasic and then Tamasic nature of Ravana. And in opposite of those three things, he is so sattvic. He shows his compassion and then looks at the child and then asks this softly this question. I think that.
Thank you very much, Auntie. Yes, Sai Satish.
Sai Ram, just going to talk about the question Sister Aruna had raised. So Swami would say this, he would say that Ravana mastered 64 forms of knowledge and Rama only knew 32 forms of knowledge. But the difference between Ravana and Rama was that Ravana always aspired for greatness and Rama always aspired for goodness. And Swami would say, continue to say that these days parents always aspire that their children should become great, but actually the children should become good. Because again and again Swami would say that, Swami continues to say it is na karmana na pradaya dhanena tyagena ekena amritatva manushu. So it's not by any other thing, but it's only by sacrifice that one attains immortality. So in that regard, I think Ravana's whole thing was, I got 64, but I want 65. I want 66. So it's only more and more. And not that I got one and out of that one I put it into practice and I attained fulfillment in implementing what I learned, which is what Rama did. He might have learned 32, but every bit of 32 he essenced in his life, which became the Ramayana. So that way I was just saying that always to see which we should prioritize, greatness or goodness, quantity or quality. I think that will decide everything. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much. Yes, Sister Vani.
I just want to add to Brother Sai Satyaj's point that, Ravana, however much he learned, he didn't stay in the path of Dharma. I think, we need to have that whatever we have, whatever we earned or whatever we learned, if we are not in the dharmic path, everything is useless.
Thank you very much, Sister. Anyone else has something to say?
Uncle, I just wanted to clarify one of the translations. I think it was after the sentence where he was able to foresee that the daughter of the king of Kaushala, there's a possibility for him to get married to her. That next sentence, maybe if that girl disappears, with that convoluted intelligence, one develops bad thoughts. Is that what it was?
Yeah, Viparita, Viparita. Vinashakale Viparita Buddhi means when one has to, the time of destruction, one gets convoluted thoughts.
I see.
Sorry, Auntie.
Viparita Buddhi, another way of expressing it is contradictory to the general knowledge, general opinion of the people. It is contrary. He is thinking in a different way. Generally, when we think, okay, we bless the child, we bless the couple with a child. But this fellow is looking at it.
So with the contradictory to general knowledge, one develops bad thoughts.
Yeah, his buddhi has become that contrary. Okay. Anyone else would like to?
Sai Ram, Uncle.
Yes.
I'm just taking a little bit of a detour here about what Brother Sai Satish said a few minutes ago about how Swami was speaking about these desires. There was one more thing. So the official channel had shared a video a couple of days back about how Swami had given a discourse to his students about how education nowadays is not for life, but it's to only to earn a living kind of thing, like that, where there's a strong desire only to get as higher pay as possible and things like that. So I mean, in this world where this constant desires are coming, how do we I know it's a little bit of a detour, but it's just what Brother Sai Satish said. It just came to my mind. This discourse came to my mind from 2 days ago. Swami had said, so how do we Swami has clearly said that education should be for life, it should not be for living. So how do we control those desires to make sure that we use our education for the good and not for attaining higher and higher jobs? So what do we do with this education that we have now?
Good question, Rohit. I will open it up for others to share. What should be how do we live? In this world, that's the way we are conditioned.
Yes, exactly. We are conditioned this way. What do we do?
I will open it up for anyone to share. Yes, Sai Satish.
Sai Ram. So, really, Swami would say, Paropakarartam Phalanti Vrikshaha, Paropakarartam Vahanti Nadyah, Paropakarartam Duhanti Gavaha, Paropakarartam Idam Shariram, which translates as it is in service of the others that the trees bear fruit. It is in service of the others that the rivers flow. It is in service of the others that the cows give their milk. And it is in service of the others is for which the human body is given. So now the question comes that now this knowledge is there, but how do we make it into wisdom? So given that Swami always says that, yeah, like Jantunam Narajanma Durlabham, again human birth is rarest of all the beings. So given that, how do we use this education or this knowledge again to, Swami said, yeah, to skill the knowledge and not kill the knowledge. So in that regard, I think if we can use again what Swami says, like Sarva Karma Bhagavat Prityartham, every action is done for the sake of making Swami happy. If we can do every action that we do, that will this make Swami happy? Am I doing it with that sense of perfection and fulfillment? Then whatever desire we have, in one sense, is resting upon the desire to make Swami happy through that action. And so it not only helps perfection of that action, but it becomes as a offering to Swami. That is one way to look at it. The second way is what we have. We have this thorn of desire stuck in our foot. We have to use another thorn to remove that thorn. And the thorn that is used to remove that thorn is the desire for Swami. And using that desire for Swami, we remove this desire, all other desires. Then we throw away both the thorns, because ultimately the objective is to become desireless. So that is at the highest level. But in essence, if anything that we do, if we can do it with as a feeling that Swami, I am offering this to you, and the sole purpose of this action is to please you, that way we are channelizing whatever desires are there, using that prime desire that it is to please Swami. But I'll stop here. Sai Ram.
Thank you, Sai Satish. Anyone else would like to?
Sai Ram?
Yes, Uncle.
If you have strong faith in Swami, and supposedly if you go on the wrong track, Swami will always try to bring you back on the right track. I want to make an assurance. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Uncle. Yes, Sister Vani.
I just wanted to add that Swami said end of education is character. So the education is to bring our innate human qualities and the values to realize the divinity. So just wanted to say that.
Thank you very much, Sister. Anyone else would like to? Okay, maybe I will just add to that what others have said. See, one of the problems is that we do not have tripti, contentment. So what happens, I think there's nothing wrong with what we study, but how we employ it is what matters. Generally, there are two things which actually cause. One is lack of contentment. The second one is we look at others and learn from others who are worldly minded. If somebody is successful in a worldly sense, then we want to be as good as them or better than them. So that's also another problem. Like Ravana, Dasharatha is a king, let him be in his own kingdom. But he was a king in his own country, but he wanted to be bigger than him. So tripti, santripti is something which we have to cultivate, and no one else can give it. We have to do it. So God wants us to be content, but we are never content. We want something more, something more. So I think that's the one problem, which is nothing but karma, lobha, or whichever we want to call it. The second one is we are just looking at other people as the ideal we have to follow in this world, who are worldly minded. And somehow our mind convinces that if we do that, we will be better, we will be happier. But the real devotee, as Uncle Gopal said, is content with God. I know all of us should know that if we know Swami, who is God, why are we even looking at anything else in this world? But we are not, don't have that confidence that God can give. Like Ravana got the boon, but he was not confident about that. He thought he has to do something. So I think two things. One is lack of contentment. The second one is aping what others are doing, trying to be somebody else. I think those are two problems. And on the topic of 64 arts, Rama studied only 32. Why? Why didn't he study the rest? I think it's a question we can ask. Because the reality is, stealing is also one of the art forms. Chauryani is the name. So we should not study everything in this world. We should only study what is positive. How to steal, how to kill. There are so many things which are there in the 64 forms of art. Ravana did everything. How to change, go into disguise, as Auntie said, take on and put on another form and go. That's also a form of art. But Rama didn't need these things. That is why he did not study. So it is, what it shows is studying all the worldly arts does not necessarily help you spiritually. And sometimes that can be a distraction. And as we can see, Ravana he liked that subject of stealing so much. He started early on. Sita was later only. Kaushalya he started with. So we don't know how many what else he did also. That would have become, as Sai Sathya said, second nature. Ideally, our first nature should become thinking of God. Not even second nature. The first nature should become thinking of God. And then all these good things will come to us. Let's stop here. Yes, Sister Aruna.
Sai Ram, brother, all this time I was thinking this 64 arts are for the positive way, right? Now only I got it. There is a 64 arts include the other things too, right? So yeah, that's a good one. Thank you so much, Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Sister Sai Ram. Sometimes we hear some of these and we don't even know the details. What are the 64? I think first we should know what are the 64 and which one we want to study. Swami will say, Atma Vidya Vidyana. If you study Atma Vidya, you don't need to study anything else. If you cultivate devotion, you don't need to do any other activity. So I think those are things. Sai Ram. Anyone else? Any questions? See, and one more thing which struck me was, from that time, Ravana was thinking of the child of Dasharatha. So you can imagine his devotion to Rama, even though it's negative, started at that age. And whatever you seek, there only you will go. Like if you say, I want to go to this place, one day you will land up in that place only. Then you will go to the place which has been in your head without your knowledge. That's what happened to Ravana. Okay, Sai Ram, Sister Geeta.
Sai Ram, sorry, I got lost with the track because some guests came to our house, and I just want to make sure where did we end so that I will read those paragraphs. Third chapter, where did we end today? Where?
Sumantra asking, why are you in this box? It's asking little Kaushalya. Are you reading the Telugu version or English, sister?
Oh, I can't read Telugu. I can only speak Telugu. I read English.
Oh, I see. Okay. So in the Telugu chapter, it's second, but in English chapter,
third. It's third.
Third chapter.
Yeah. It's chapter third in English.
Yes. Okay, he's asking Sumandra is asking the girl, why are you in this box? How come what's the reason for you to be in this box?
Oh, okay. Okay, got it.
Sai Ram, Brother Ron or Beena?
Sai Ram, I just wanted to mention that in spite of having all the good Vidya, that is Ravana's head in his 64 type of Vidya. Let's say he had even an astrology. There was a very, he was the greatest one. Still, he did not use the better way. Still, he put all the grahas in for his son in one house and he wanted to control. So, crooked mind is always crooked in the sense, like, even though you have the great good one, still you are not using the good way. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, sister. Thank you.
Sai Ram, as you mentioned, bhaktas, this devotees can remember Lord in negative way also. That's like Kamsa, always thinking about Krishna. This Ravana also, right before, even before the birth of Rama, he remembers that he should not have a child. So the child might overpower him. So that's also a kind of devotion, I feel. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, thank you, Auntie. Yes, Sai Satish.
Vaira Bhakti. Yeah, so I was just going to say that I think there is a story of somebody telling Ravana that you're a master of disguise, so why don't you take the form of Rama and go in front of Sita? She will readily accept you. And then Ravana tells, I cannot take the form of Rama because once I take the form of Rama, I will become desireless. Then the attained or the thing to possess Sita itself goes away. So the purpose will be defeated, so I cannot take Rama's form. So that is the power of the name and the form, which clearly says he only scraped the tip. He was only fearful of Rama. Had he developed love for Lord Rama, the whole scenario would have changed. But I think the desire aspect got the better of him. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish. Yes, Sister Shilpa.
Sai Ram, my question is how Kaushalya ji stayed alive in the box?
Okay. So, sister's question is, how did Kaushalya stay alive? So, in the sister, maybe I will answer. In English, it says Brahma willed otherwise. That's what in English says. But in the Telugu, Swami says, Brahma took matters into his own hands and made sure that she safely reached the shores of one place. So that means God can, it's like asking, how does a baby survive in the womb of a mother? God can supply anything which we want to anyone. So I think she was under the protective influence of under the influence of God. Is what was very, very clearly stated. So the Swami, that's the way Swami has answered it in the Telugu. That Brahma realized this and he made sure that she safely reached the shore. The box reached the shore. I think, Ravana would have thought, he has shut out the air, but God can always find ways to get into the box through something. Man plans and God, disposes that. I think that's what I would say.
Man proposes, God disposes.
So, see, the thing is, another thing which is coming through very clearly is Ravana has been working very hard because Rama cannot be born of human origin. So he said Dasharatha should not have children. So Dasharatha only had one way. He had to perform yajna to get a child. So that became easy for Rama to come. Then Kaushalya, he didn't want to get married, but he may have accelerated the marriage also, which we'll come to. So Ravana had a big hand in Rama coming down. Though, he planned something, but the repercussions without his knowledge turned out to be for the benefit of everyone. Yes, Sai Satish.
Sorry, I'm just a little tempted to say those days the boxes were not airtight. So they were, I think, little, that's why, that's on a lighter note. But then just to add to what you are saying, apparently once Lakshmi Devi, she's having a discussion with Lord Vishnu, and the same topic comes, how the Lord provides for each and every being. And then, of course, the Lord says, yes, I am the provider of every being. So she says, okay, let me take this small ant and put it in a small box and see how the Lord provides for it. And then, so she puts it apparently in the morning or so. And then in the evening, she opens it and she sees there's a tiny rice grain that is placed in the mouth of that ant, which is there in that small box. So, of course, this may go as a story, but then time and again, I think when one of the students came to Swami asking for a job kind thing to work, and then I think for some time he had been trying and he had not got a job, and he was trying to ask Swami for that, and then Swami just pointed out, as they were there in the darshan there, Swami pointed out to the top of a hill there, and a small tree or a shrub was growing there. And then Swami, pointing to that, said, who is pouring the water for that shrub to grow there? So when that Lord can take care of a sapling that is growing on some mountain far away, won't he take care of you? So that feeling that always Swami is near us and he is the provider, he is the one who is taking care of our every need. That will just help reinforce. So just wanted to add that, Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Sai Sathya. Just to add to what Sai Sathya said, so it was a rocky hill, and it was only rock, and there's one at the top. There was one small plant growing, so there was no source of water also for that plant in the ground. There was some soil left there, and it was growing there. So you can imagine the roots can't penetrate anywhere and find water, and it is totally dependent on rain. It's only God who can make things grow like that.
Sai Ram.
Yes.
ಕನಕದಾಸ ಸೈಂಟ್ ಕನಕದಾಸ ಸೇಸ್ ಬೆಟ್ಟದ ತುದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿರುವ ವೃಕ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಕಟ್ಟೆಯನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟಿ ನೀರೆರೆದರ್ ಯಾರು, ಹುಟ್ಟಿಸಿದ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ತಾ ಹೊಣೆಗಾರನಾದ ಮೇಲೆ ಗಟ್ಟಿಯಾಗಿ ರಕ್ಷಿಪನು, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಶಯ ಬೇಡ. That's what that song says that.
Only translated.
At the top of the mountain there is a tree. Who is giving water to it? So kattenu katti, there is a small thing around that tree so that water stays there. The Bhagawan has made that plant alive, so he will take care of it. Same. Sai Ram.
Thank you.
I sang that song before Swami, that's why I remember it.
Thanks a lot. So Swami wanted you to sing it today.
Yeah,
I think you didn't sing.
Today, she wanted me to sing it today.
You just recited it. You didn't sing, but
I think there is no time for it.
So Sai Satish, I had a doubt. Those days, the boxes were watertight.
That's what, and I missed saying that. The water from the ocean splashed inside. So she had water also. Only food was missing and Sumantra gave it to her. So I think she got, sorry.
She didn't get drowned. So I was, your logic was not too watertight.
Right buoyancy was there. Sorry.
Yes, I think we'll close the session today, and it's 10:18. We will meet again next week to continue. Sai Ram, everyone. We'll close with Samasta Loka.